Similar to the Bible verse, "It was not you who chose me, but I who chose you," is the way that I received my religious name. So it's actually a name that the Lord has given to me rather than something that I chose for myself. When I was a postulant, when I first entered this religious community, all of my professed sisters with their religious names were coming up with different suggestions for me of potential names. And I was getting a little preoccupied with their suggestions. And so I just made a simple prayer to Jesus and I said, "Lord, will you reveal my religious name to my novice mistress, Mother Jeanette Marie?" And then I put it out of my mind. It was only a few days later, however, that I was at Mass with the community and I was actually renewing a personal consecration to the Father. And it was during the doxology of the Mass. And afterwards, I was meeting with Mother Jeanette and she said, "During Mass today, I received a religious name for you." And so it was just an immediate answer to prayer. I felt so much peace. She didn't tell me right away what the religious name was, and I didn't need to know it. I didn't want to know it at that point. But it wasn't until I became a novice that I became more intentional with praying, specifically for the Lord to actually reveal the name to me. And so as a first-year novice, I became very convicted that the Lord had actually given me a religious name at baptism, the name Grace. And so I was praying a lot with Grace because in our community, you can either take a saint name or you can add a title. And so knowing that Grace was going to be part of it somehow, I just wasn't sure how. And then I was actually also praying with Mary a lot. So I consecrated myself to Jesus through Mary almost 8 years ago now. And so I knew Mary would also be part of the name. I didn't quite know how the pieces would fit together. So I'm about to enter my second year novitiate. This was a year ago now. And I'm meeting with Mother Jeanette again. And she says to me, "Would you like to hear the name that I received for you?" And I said yes. I felt so ready, and she had discerned, I guess, that I was ready to. And so I just opened up my hands to receive whatever it is that she was going to share with me. And she said, "The name that I received for you is Sister Grace of Mary." And immediately I just felt this wave of peace and warmth wash over me. It felt as if this was the name that the Lord had always called me. I hadn't heard it fully for the first time until it came from Mother Jeanette. And so I thank the Lord. I took that to prayer. I've been praying with that name for the past year, just exactly what it means to not just belong to Mary, but to actually be the grace of Mary. Now, it's God's grace that it makes everything possible, as Therese of Lisieux says, all is grace. And God ordained it that all of this grace would come to us through the hands of our Blessed Virgin.